Hey guys, it's time to do our unboxing. Hopefully you all got a chance to see the pre-release video. It was a work in progress. It's not my favorite video I've done so far, but it was a experiment. I think I want to do a little bit something else with it in the future, but I do think it'd be kind of fun to do some pre-release videos too. So we'll play with that and we'll see, especially with the next one, which is Ninja Turtles, which I'll share my thoughts on that. Again, I know I kind of did before, but I will do it again. For each set. Also, we're going to be soon talking about a whole bunch of other things coming up soon, like I want to talk about mechanics and formats and whatnot. Really got a lot going on. I want to do, the year started off a bit rough for me. It's been a little chaotic, but here we are. And it is time for Lorwyn Eclipsed. This is the pre-release weekend. We have a collector booster box as well as a play booster box we're going to open. I'm excited. I'm going into this blind. I intentionally made sure not to look anything up. So it's going to be kind of fun to see what we can discover together. So why don't we go ahead and get started? This will be a lot of fun. Alright, so first off, when we bought our boxes, we did get a special card. It is the same card for both buying the play booster and the collector booster. But I do want to show that real quick. It is Harmonized Crescendo. This has Convoke. Also, you could choose a creature type and draw a card for each permanent you control of that type. So this is going to be a really good card for Tribal. That's one thing about this set is, unlike previous sets where I can just speed through, I actually want to look at the cards, read what they say, talk about what they say. So this may be a little bit longer, but that's also because, like I said, we're going in blind, so I'm learning this with you. I'm learning the cards as I do this. So as always, the collector will be second, play will be first. So let's see what's going on. I really like the art. It calls back to how it used to be even before I quit playing when I was in graduated high school. But it still has a touch of the new. And I mean, I know they brought back a lot of the original artists from the Lorwyn set, so that's awesome too. But it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm excited to see a lot of these cards. I did get to see some with the pre-release. So, you know, here's going, and here's hoping for some nice stuff. I think it's funny because I really only know about the serialized card, to be honest with you, and like everybody else, yeah, it'd be cool to get this, and I'm hoping I do, but if I don't, okay, sure. It's actually probably the first set. I'm trying to think back to all the other sets. If this is the first set, I've truly been like, wow, I really wish I could get that serialized card. I think the only other one was the Chocobo from Final Fantasy, but even then, I didn't want the serialized one. I just wanted the regular one because I wanted it in my decks. So this little piece right here will just show the different archetypes for drafts, which basically just shows the different tribal formats you can do. So that's kind of neat. And I do like the fact, I'm going to go ahead and just do this real quick so I can show this. Like in the older times, each pack has, I mean, there's like 3 different artworks for the packs. I love that. I think that's so cool. It's actually going to be really fascinating. In fact, I'm going to sort them. We're going to sort them by the artwork. Just that'll be a lot more fun, I think. So let's go ahead and get them out of the box. And let's go ahead and sort. Ideally, we should still have an even ratio, but who knows if that's going to be the case. You never know with these things. That's half the fun to me. The mystery is half the fun. So I never played the original Lorwyn. I have some cards that are from Lorwyn, but I never played the original Lorwyn. I never had any knowledge about the story behind Lorwyn or anything like that. It all happened after I quit when I graduated high school, because all my friends who played were going their own separate ways, as people do in those times. And I was like, well, if nobody's going to be around that plays, then why am I going to let these cards just sit there and do nothing? And so I pretty much had that attitude, and I got rid of them, which I really kind of kick myself for nowadays. But, you know, it is what it is. So, now we get to re-experience Lorwyn. I get to see how this all works. We're going to have some fun with it. We'll just go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, until we get all the way down. I think that'll be a lot more fun. So, let's get started. Let's start with pack number 1. So Unexpected Assistance has Convoke as well. Draw 3 cards and discard a card. I did see this in my draft. Oh, not a draft, I'm sorry. My pre-release. It was kind of fun. Shore Lurker, when it's a Merfolk Scout. When it enters, Surveil 1. I like Surveil cards. I really do. Surveil and Scry are fun. So Sword Lurker, I mean, Merfolk seems to be a really nice thing. I'm loving the fact that there's shapeshifters as well. Like, we have this guy right here, Gangly Stompling. It's got, it's a changeling or a shapeshifter. It has trample. I like the idea about shapeshifters. It seems like kind of fun. Great Forest Druid. So it's like another Land of War Elves, but this time is for tree folk. 1 mana of any color, 0/4. So it's actually going to be more defensive, but it is a good help for mana. Feed the Flames is going to deal 5 damage to target creature. If that creature would die this turn, exile it instead. I'm going to put these, arrange these in front of us in a Wooburg format. So that way we can see what we get. The stacks may not be fully on the camera, but we will at least play with it. Scarblade's Malice. So target creature control gains Death Touch and Lifelink until end of turn. When that creature dies this turn, create a 2/2 black and green elf creature token, so that's good for elf deck. Wonderwine Distractor. It's another Merfolk. When it becomes tapped, target creature and opponent controls gets -3, -0 until end of turn. Merfolk really, I noticed that with the pre-release, Merfolk really are making their presence known in this set, and that's kind of cool. So, I like elves and D&D and stuff like that, but I really had no interest in them. What I really had interest in is right here, the Faefolk, the fairies. Glamour Gifter, not Grifter, wow. Glamour Gifter, it has Flash and Flying. When this creature enters, choose up to 1 other target creature. Until the end of turn, that creature has base power and toughness of 4/4 and gains all creature types. So it basically makes it a 4/4 shapeshifter just for that turn. That's interesting. Nightmare Sower has Flying and Lifelink. When you cast a spell during an opponent's turn, put a -1/-1 counter up to 1 target creature. So that's going to be nice for some stuff right there. Meander's Guide. I think I had this one as well. Yep. When this creature attacks, you may tap another untapped Merfolk you control. When you do, return target creature card with mana value 3 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. So that's a nice little graveyard card. I like that. Kithkins, I was asking people about this. Now, I want you guys to comment in this video if you can. I don't remember ever seeing Kithkins in like D&D, so I think they're just a magic only thing. I could be wrong. Are they supposed to be hobbits? Are they supposed to be halflings, which is basically hobbits? Or are they supposed to be like the brownies, which are like smaller than halflings, but they're still like human-esque? I'm kind of curious what Kithkins technically are. I want to learn the lore and history behind Kithkins. So, Dune Doolin Weaver. When this creature enters, if you control 3 or more creatures, return target permanent card from your graveyard to your hand. Interesting. Bloodline Bidding. So this is our rare right here. Convoke. Choose a creature type. Return all creature cards of the chosen type from your graveyard to the battlefield. That's going to be interesting. I like that. And then our first foil is a shapeshifter. It is the Rooftop Percher. It is a changeling with flying. When it enters, exile up to 2 target cards from graveyards and gain 3 life. I am tongue twisted today, y'all. I am so sorry. And you got to go over there, because that's the colorless spot. And then, of course, the plains and a goblin tree folk token card. We're going to keep our lands over there unless they're special lands. We'll put special lands over on this side. All right, pack number 2. So I think that's what I'm going to do later on, probably tonight, tomorrow, whatever. I might just sit there and look through YouTube or whatever and see if I can find out the full lore story of Lorwyn, the original block, as well as then read, hear the story about how Eclipsed is. And that's the thing I think I'm going to do a video about. I'm going to talk about it later on, but what do you guys feel about the blocks? Do you miss the expansion blocks, or are you happy they're not here? I really kind of want to know. Temporal Cleansing. It has Convoke. The owner of target non-land permanent puts it into their library second from the top or on the bottom. So that's interesting. I think it's where you get to choose because it doesn't say their choice. Reluctant and Dune Guard. It enters with 2 -1 counters on it. Whenever another creature you control enters, while this creature has -1 counter on it, remove a -1 counter from this creature. Okay. There's our Percher. There's Assert Perfection. Target creature you control gets +1/+0 until end of turn. It deals damage equal to its power up to 1 target creature an opponent controls. So it doesn't have. Oh, no, it does actually do it. So it does deal that damage. It's not a may. Enraged Flamecaster. Whenever you cast a spell with mana value 4 or greater, this creature deals 2 damage to each opponent. This is going to be really good for my what the heck is it called? My Spellslinger decks, I think. Especially with Niv Mizzet. Dream Caesar. Hail Caesar. Wrong Caesar. Flying. When this creature enters, you may blight one. If you do, each opponent discards a card. Interesting. They really did lean on the blight mechanic, which I think is kind of cool, so there's that. The Summit Sentinel, basically when this creature dies, draw a card. That's kind of cool. I like that. Mud Button Curse Tosser. That's a tongue twister in my mouth. As an additional cost to cast a spell, behold a goblin or pay 2 colorless. It cannot block. When this creature dies, destroy target creature an opponent controls with power 2 or less. Thirst for Identity. Draw 3 cards and discard 2 cards unless you discard a creature card. Interesting. Personify is an instant. Exile target creature you control, then return that card to the battlefield under its owner's control. Create a 1/1 colorless shapeshifter token with Changeling. That could be good for some of my Blink decks. I might do that. Ooh, colorless rare. Mirror Mind Crown. As long as this equipment is attached to a creature, the first time you would create 1 or more tokens each turn, you may instead create that many tokens that are copies of equipped creature. That's awesome. That's disgustingly awesome. I can see that being really just ridiculous. Blaze Epiphany is another rare. It's also red. It deals X damage to target creature. When that creature dies this turn, exile a number of cards from the top of your library equal to its power, then choose a card exiled this way. Until the end of your next turn, you may play that card. Our foil is Kulrath Mystic, Elemental Wizard. Whenever you cast a spell with mana value 4 or greater, it gains +2/+0 and gains Vigilance until end of turn. Beautiful. An island. Goblin Fairy. Okay. So I'm seeing a lot of these and I think they're pretty awesome so far, so I'm kind of excited about this. Bear with me as I sway and bobble. I don't have my shoes on. The floor here is a little more solid and firm. Because the basement is just sturdy, but it's also like my sciatica is trying to kick my butt, so there's that. Glamourmite, Fairy Rogue, has flash and flying. When this creature enters, you can choose to either tap target creature or untap target creature. Nice. Sun Dappled Celebrant has Convoke and Vigilance. 5/6, it's a 6 cost. That's a pretty pricey one, but it might still be good. Foraging Wickermaw is a scarecrow. When this creature enters, sail rail 1. For 1 colorless, you can add 1 mana of any color, but this creature becomes that color until the end of turn, actively only once each turn. So that's going to be good for the Vivid mechanic. Becomes that color. Okay, so yeah, interesting. Wildvine Pummeler, Giant Berserker, has Vivid. This spell costs 1 colorless less to cast for each color among permanents you control. It has reach and trample. It has six. Blah. Wow, guys, bear with me. It is a 7 cost, but still 6/5. That's a beautiful thing. Flame Chain Mauler, Elemental Warrior. It for colorless and a red, it gets to have a +1/+0 and gains menace until end of turn. We all love our Menace. Our colored equipment right now that we have gotten first, because everything else has been colorless so far, has to be the Barbed Bloodletter. It has flash, and when it enters, attach it to target creature you control. That creature gains Wither until end of turn. They also get a +1/+2, and the equip cost is just 2. I actually really am excited to... I want to try to make a deck that really plays with the Wither mechanic. I think that's going to be a lot more fun than anything. So that's just my thought. River Guard's Reflexes. Target creature gets +2/+2 and gains first strike until end of turn. Untap it. Explosive Prodigy. Vivid. When this creature enters, it deals X damage to target creature and opponent controls, where X is the number of colors among permanents you control. Interesting. Gut Splitter Gang, Goblin Berserker. At the beginning of your first main phase, you may Blight 2. If you don't, you lose 3 life. So I think it's funny. Blight I originally thought was going to be where you could Blight any creature, not just your own. And then when I found out that you only can do your own, I was like, oh, well, it's not as exciting as I thought it would be. But that's because I forgot all about Wither. So now being reminded about Wither is why I'm like, oh, I really think it'd be kind of fun to make a Wither deck for Commander. But I gotta sit there and think about that and work with that. Pestered Wellguard. Whenever this creature becomes tapped, create a 1/1 blue and black fairy creature token with flying. Interesting that Merfolk is creating fairy. So there might be some synergy I can do with those two. That'd be interesting. Kalchan Festival. It is when this enchantment enters, create a 2/1/1 green and white Kithkin creature tokens. For colorless and a white, you can create one of those creature tokens. Not as good as one of the other ones I had for my pre-release, but I'm pretty sure we'll probably get that here soon. But we'll see. Curious Colossus. I like this art. Look how cute this artwork is, guys. That's adorable. It's a giant warrior. It is for 7 CMC, so 5 colorless and 2 white. When it enters, each creature target opponent control loses all abilities and becomes a coward in addition to its other types, and has a base power and toughness of 1/1. That's going to be interesting. I gotta find somewhere I could put that in. I like that. Dose of Dawnglow. Return target creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield. If it isn't your main phase, you Blight 2. And then a beautiful island with another Kithkin elf token. I really like that Colossus. I kind of want to do something with that. I'm not sure what exactly yet, but I'm going to find some type of thing I can do with that. Alright, pack number 4. Here we go. Stratosaur is a flying creature. It's a flying elemental. When this creature enters, target creature gains flying until end of turn, and you can do basic land cycling with it. Okay. Tributary Vaulter, Merfolk Warrior. When this creature becomes tapped, another target Merfolk you control gets +2/+0 until end of turn. The Stalacite, no, I cannot pronounce that, but that dagger. When this equipment enters, create a 1/1 colorless shapeshifter creature token with Changeling. Equip creature gets +1/+1 and it's all creature types. Equip is only a 2 cost. That's not bad. Dawn's Light Archer is going to have just flash and reach. I believe we saw this one, but I'm not sure. No, actually, no, I don't. The Kolrath Zealot. When this creature enters, exile a top card of your library. Until the end of your next turn, you may play that card and basic land cycling. Another Barbed Bloodletter, but I don't think we got this one yet. Maybe we did. They get Wither. It's a flash card that gets Wither. They get +1/+2. Maybe we did, maybe we did. I don't remember. Unforgiving Aim. Choose one. Destroy target creature with flying. Destroy target enchantment. Or create a 2/2 black and green elf creature token. Moonlit Limiter. This creature enters with a -1/-1 counter on it. You can remove a counter for a color listed in white, and if you do, you draw a card, only activate as a sorcery. Blossoming Defense. Target creature you control gets +2/+2 and gains hexproof until end of turn. Interesting. Boldware Aggressor. Double strike. Other giants you control have double strike. Am I going to end up making a giant deck? Maybe. I don't know. Look how cute that is. Oh my gosh, I like it. Changeling. It's a little shapeshifter. Grave Shifter. When this creature enters, you may return target creature card from your graveyard to your hand. He's so cute. We have a flip card. Thurston Callous Cultivator. Death Touch. When this creature enters or transforms into Thurston Callous Cultivator, mill 3 cards. Then, if there is an elf card in your graveyard, you gain 2 life. At the beginning of your first main phase, you may pay a black. If you do, transform into the Pendant Color. It has Death Touch. When this creature transforms into the Pendant Color, mill 3 cards, and you may exile an elf card from your graveyard. If you do, each opponent loses 2 life. Okay, interesting. We have our first special land, Eclipsed Realms. As this land enters, choose Elemental, Elf, Fairy, Giant, Goblin, Kithkin, Merfolk, or Treefolk. Add a colorless, or if you tap it, you may add 1 mana of any color. Spend this mana to cast a spell of the chosen creature type or activate an ability of a source of that chosen type. Awesome. Then we have a mountain, and we just have a blank card. Okay. Cool. I might have to do a giant deck now because I'm finding some really neat giants here. I don't know if I want to, honestly, but they are kind of cool looking. Not gonna lie, that's kind of neat. Okay, sorry, I had to get my stuff stacked. If I don't do that now, I'll be doing it later, and then you guys will. It's a whole mess. So I'm trying to do it now just so I can. Eventually, I want to do like a zoom out and show what all we got. Like how big everything is. Let's throw that away proper. Silvergill Peddler. Whenever this creature becomes tapped, draw a card, then discard a card. Interesting. Oh, get over here. Appeal to Irdu. Convoke. And 1 or 2 target creatures gain +2/+1 until end of turn. Chaos Spewer, Goblin Warlock. When this creature enters, you may pay 2. If you don't, blight 2. Mist Meadow Council, more Kithkins. When the spell costs 1 less to cast if you control a Kithkin, when this creature enters, draw a card. Cinder Strike. At the beginning of... As an additional cost to cast a spell, you may blight 1. Cinder Strike deals 2 damage to target creature. It deals 4 damage to that creature instead if this spell's additional cost was paid. Vile Bogart. When this creature dies, put a 1/1 counter on up to 1 target creature. Runaway Together. We've all seen Runaway Together from countless decks, but it's kind of nice to see it come back. Choose 2 target creatures controlled by different players. Return those creatures to their owner's hands. Okay. Ooh, look how pretty prismatic that is. I like that. Shine Striker. It's a flying elemental that has Vivid. When this creature enters, draw a card equal to the number of colors among permanents you control. It's so pretty. I like a Vivid Sliver, but that's just me. You know, whatever. Flock Imposter. It's another shapeshifter. It's kind of cute. So it's where every type, flash, flying. When this creature enters, return up to 1 other target creature control to its owner's hand. Liz Alana Dignitary is an elf advisor. As additional cost to cast the spell, behold an elf or pay 2. You can tap a deck, add 2 green mana. Only activate if there is an elf card in your graveyard. Okay. Lasting Tarfire, a red elemental. At the beginning of each end step, if you put a counter on a creature this turn, this enchantment deals 2 damage to each opponent. Interesting. Got a gold card here. It's legendary fairy, elf fairy noble, Marlin, Fey Ascendant. Whenever Marlin or another elf or fairy you control enters, exile the top 2 cards of a target opponent's library. Once each turn, you may cast a spell with mana value less than or equal to the number of elves or fairies you control from among cards exiled with Marlin this turn without paying its mana cost. She might be a fun commander. I'm not sure yet. Our foil for this one is Gallant Foul Knight. When this creature enters, creatures you control get +1/+0 until end of turn. Kithkin creatures you control also gain first strike until the end of turn. And our Foily Swamp. The art is just so beautiful. I love it so much. I'm really loving the art here, guys. I don't know about you. I think it's beautiful. We're already at the 26 mark. I know this is probably going to be a long video, so we might do a part 2 with this, the collector, but we'll do a part 1, part 2, I think. I don't want to keep it forever, but we are going through everything. We are dissecting it. I know some of these guys have probably already seen, but we're trying to do what we can for you. Wild Unraveling. As an additional cost to cast a spell, Blight 2 or pay 1. It's going to counter its spell. Feisty Spikeling. Changeling. During your turn, this creature has first strike. Furdrock Core. Changeling. Add 1 mana of any color. It can also, for 4 colorless, become a 4/4 artifact creature until end of turn. Safe Right Cavalry. This creature can't be blocked by more than 1 creature. Target elf you control gets +2/+2 until end of turn. Gristle Gutlin. Blight 1. Discard a card. If you do, draw a card. Blighted Blackthorn. Treefolk Wizard. When this creature enters or attacks, you may Blight 2. If you do, draw a card and lose 1 life. Bone Club Berserker. This creature gets +2/+0 for each other goblin you control. I cannot talk today, but I am trying. Unwelcome Sprite is a fairy rogue. Whenever you cast a spell during an opponent's turn, you can Surveil 2. Interesting. Burden Stoneback. It's another giant. When this creature enters with two 1/1 counters on it, you can remove a counter from this creature, and a target creature gains indestructible until end of turn. Activate only as a sorcery. Interesting. Reaping Willow. Treefolk Cleric. It enters with 2 -1/-1 counters on it. It has lifelink for a colorless and then a white or black. Remove 2 counters from this creature. Return target creature card with mana value 3 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. Activate only as a sorcery. Sourbread Auntie. It's a goblin warrior. When it enters, you may Blight 2. If you do, create 2 1/1 black and red goblin creature tokens. Alright. Shadow Urchin. It's an Ophi. I don't know what that means, but that's the Ophi. Whenever this creature attacks, Blight 1. Whenever a creature you control with 1 or more counters on it dies, exile that many cards from the top of your library or until your next end step. You may play those cards. Rhyme Chill with Vivid. This spell costs 1 less to cast for each color among permanents you control. Tap up to 2 target creatures, put a stun counter on each of them, draw a card. A beautiful full art forest, a goblin fairy. Alright, let's keep it going. Alright. Feisty Spikeling, we've seen that one before. Marrow Sky Swimmer has Flying Vigilance, and it will help you when it enters to create a white and blue Merfolk creature token. Blossom Bind is a blue that's going to be enchant and basically just taps, and when that creature is tapped, they cannot. Enchanted creature can't become untapped and can't have counters put on it. That's what I was trying to say. My goodness. Gold Meadow Nomad. Exile this card from your graveyard and create a 1/1 green and white Kithkin creature token. Activate only as a sorcery. Burning Curiosity. As an additional cost to cast a spell, you may Blight 1. Exile top 2 cards of your library. This spell's additional cost was paid. Exile top 3 cards instead until the end of your next turn. You may play those cards. Scarblade Scout. Lifelink. When this creature enters, mill 2 cards. Okay. Midnight Tilling. Mill 4 cards, and then you may return a permanent card from among them to your hand. Okay. Flamekin Guild Weaver. When this creature enters, create a treasure token. Wretched Wretch. When this creature dies and it had a 1/1 counter, return it to the battlefield under its owner's control. It loses all abilities. Wow. Wonderwine Farewell has Convoke. Return 1 or 2 non-land target non-land permanents to their owner's hands. If you control a Merfolk, create a 1/1 white-blue Merfolk creature token for each permanent returned to its owner hand this way. Alright. Kithkeeper. When this creature enters, create X 1/1 green-white Kithkin creature tokens, where X is the number of colors among permanents you control. Tap 3 untapped creatures you control, and this creature gets +3/+0, gains flying until end of turn. Emptiness. Creature Elemental Incarnation. When this creature enters, if 2 white was cast to pay 2 white was used to spend and cast it, return target creature card with mana value 3 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. Likewise, if 2 black was spent to cast it, put 3 -1/-1 counters on up to 1 target creature. Thoughtweft Charge. Target creature gets +3/+3 until end of turn. If a creature you entered with the battlefield under your control this turn, draw a card. Foil Forest. Merfolk. Shapeshifter. Flaring Cinder. When this creature enters, whenever you cast a spell with mana value 4 or greater, you may discard a card. If you do, draw a card. Timid Shield Bearer. Creature control get +1/+0 until end of turn. Another core. Tweeze. Deals 3 damage to any target. You may discard a card. If you do, draw a card. Scarblade Malice. Target creature control gains Death Touch and Lifelink until end of turn. When that creature dies this turn, create a 2/2 black and green elf creature token. Wary Farmer. At the beginning of your end step, if another creature enters the battlefield under your control this turn, surveil 1. Runaway Together. We've seen that one before. Iron Shield Elf. Discard a card. This creature gains indestructible until end of turn. Tap it. Okay. I don't understand why it says to tap it, though, because if it gains indestructible, you want it to be able to defend. I don't understand. I'll have to ask for clarification on that. Tentaphil Rhyme Speaker. Whenever you cast a spell with mana value 4 or greater, draw a card. Protective Response. Destroy target or attacking or blocking creature. It has a convoke cost. Prisma Basher. Trample with Vivid. When this creature enters, put up to X target. When this creature enters, up to X target creature you control get +X/+X until end of turn, where X is the number of colors among permanents you control. We have a dual land here. As this land enters, you may pay 2 life. If you don't, it enters tapped. Blight Rot. Put 4 -1/-1 counters on target creature. A Full Art Mountain. Merfolk. Shapeshifter. Honestly, guys, I forgot where we left off on this, so I'm just gonna start grabbing randomly. We saw our Scarecrow before, so we're gonna take care of that. And our Cinder, we've seen that. Keep Out. Keep Out deals 4 damage to target tapped creature or destroy target enchantments. Okay. Changeling Wayfinder. Changeling. When this creature enters, you may search your library for a basic land card, reveal it, and put it into your hand, then shuffle. Bog Slither's Embrace. As an additional cost to cast a spell, blight 1 or pay 3. Tend the Sprigs. Search your library for a basic land card, put it into the battlefield tapped, then shuffle. Then, if you control 7 or more lands and or treefolk, create a 3/4 green treefolk creature token with reach. Remember, the and or means it has to at least be some combination of treefolk in lands to equal up to 7. Or 7 or higher, rather. We've seen Tweeze. Bogart Prankster. Whenever you attack, target attacking goblin you control gets +1/+0 till end of turn. Luminolusk is an elemental with Death Touch. Vivid is when this creature enters, you gain life equal to the number of colors among permanents you control. Perfect Intimidation. Choose one or both. Target creature exiles 2 cards from their hand. Remove all counters from target creature. Interesting. Impolite Entrance. Target creature gains trample and haste until end of turn. Draw a card. Overgrown Tomb is our dual land Swamp Forest. This looks like it's another shock land. Glamourmite. Flash Flying. When it enters, you can either tap or untap a creature. I think we've seen that one before with a full art island. Kithkin Treasure. There we go. I couldn't get the thing to peel for me a little bit so I could get it ready for you guys. My goodness. Aquatex Defenses. Flash. Enchant creature you control. When it this aura enters, enchanted creature gets hexproof until end of turn. They also get +1/+2. Interesting. Another enchantment. When this enchantment enters, exile up to 1 target non-land permanent an opponent controls until this enchantment leaves the battlefield. Gain 2 life. We have another Scarecrow. A Blossom Bind. We've seen that before. Brambleback Brute. Enters with 2 -1/-1 counters on it. Remove a counter from this creature for a colorless and a red, and the target creature can't block this turn. Activate only as a sorcery. Moonglove Extractor. Whenever this creature attacks, you may draw a card and lose... you do draw a card and lose 1 life. There's no may. Assert Perfection. Target creature you control gets +1/+0 until end of turn. It deals damage equal to its power up to 1 target creature an opponent controls. Feed the Flames. We've seen that one before. Another Eclipsed Realms. Love it. Twin Flame Travelers. If triggered ability of another elemental you control triggers, it triggers additional time. It does have flying. Nice. Pummeler for Hire, another giant with Vigilance Reach, Ward 2. When this creature enters, you gain X life, for X is the greatest power among giants you control. This is the enchantment that helped me with the first win I got on Friday. Creatures you control get +X/+X, where X is the number of creatures that enter the battlefield under your control this turn. At the beginning of combat on your turn, create a 1/1 green and white Kithkin creature token. Tend the Sprigs. We've seen that one before. It's beautiful foil, though. Full Art Island. And another token. We're just tearing them open, guys. Stoic Grove Guide. For 1 in either a black or green, you can exile this card from your graveyard and create a 2/2 black and green elf creature token. Activate only as a sorcery. Blossom Bind. Appeal to Irdu. We've seen this one as well. Auntie's Sentence. Choose one. Target opponent reveals their hand. You choose a non-land permanent from the card from it. That player must discard it. Target creature gets -2/-2 until end of turn. Like that. Lists Alana Informant. When this creature enters or dies, you surveil 1. Bone Club Berserker. This creature gets +2/+0 for each other goblin you control. Sting Slinger. It has a colorless and a red to blight 1. This creature deals 2 damage to each opponent. Encumbered Regieri. Merfolk Soldier. This creature enters with 3 -1/-1 counters on it. When this creature becomes tapped while it has a -1/-1 counter on it, remove said counter from it. Voracious Tome Skimmer. Flying. Whenever you cast a creature's... my gosh. I need to slow down. Whenever you cast a spell during an opponent's turn, you may pay 1 life. If you do, draw a card. Dream Harvest. Each opponent exiles cards from the top of their library until they have exiled cards with a total mana value of 5 or greater this way. Until the end of turn, you may cast cards exiled this way without paying their mana cost. I like that. Oh, there's our big elf that I know people have talked about. I only know that because I see the word blight. Whenever High Perfect Morkant or another elf you control enters, each opponent blights one. Tap 3 untapped elves you control and proliferate. Activate only as a sorcery. Burning Curiosity. Forest. And another token. Stratosaur. Alright, we've seen that one before. We've seen the Nomad. Evolving Wilds. Everybody loves Evolving Wilds because it helps you search for land. Flame Chain Mauler. I think we've seen this one before too. Dream Caesar. Hail Caesar. Great Forest Druid. Unforgiving Aim. Rhyme Chill. See, now we're getting to where we're seeing a lot of the same stuff. Bristlebane Outrider. This creature can't be blocked by creatures with power 2 or less. As long as another creature enters this battlefield under your control this turn, this creature gets +2/+0. Warren Torchmaster. Goblin Warrior. At the beginning of your combat in your turn, you may blight one. When you do, target creature gains hasten until the end of turn. Okay. Champion of the Klachan. Flash. As an additional cast to cast... I did it again, guys. As an additional cost to cast a spell, behold a Kithkin and exile it. Other Kithkin you control get +1/+1. When this creature leaves the battlefield, return the exile card to its owner's hand. Dawn Hand Dissident. Blight. You can tap it to blight 1 and surveil 1, or you can tap it to blight 2, exile target card from a graveyard. During your turn, you may cast creature spells from among cards you own exiled with this creature by removing 3 counters from among creatures you control in addition to paying other costs. Interesting. A beautiful foil Blossom Bind, a Plains, and a token. Alright. It looks like we're back. It looks like we're on track. Okay. I figured I'd bring them together so I could see if I somehow messed up my flow, but I did not, surprisingly. I'm happy about that. Alright. Wonderbrine Preacher. Whenever this creature becomes tapped, you gain 2 life. Prideful Feastling. Changeling with lifelink. So cute. I love the shapeshifters. I really do. Colwrath Mystic. Alright. It's going to have whenever you cast a spell with mana value 4 or greater, it gets +2/+0 and Vigilance until end of turn. I think we've seen it, but I can't remember. Reckless Ransacking. Target creature gets a +3/+2 until end of turn, and you create a treasure token. Hey, it's the advertised picture. It's a beautiful picture, actually. Dawn Hand Eulogist. It has Menaced. When this creature enters, mill 3 cards, and then if there is an elf card in your graveyard, each opponent loses 2 life and you gain 2 life. She's really pretty. I like her. Tend the Sprigs. We've seen that one. Giant Foul Knight. When this creature enters, creatures you control get +1/+0 until end of turn. The Kithkins get first strike. I think we've seen that one. Pyrrhic Strike. Additional cost, you may blight 2. If you choose one, if the additional cost is paid, choose both. That's one I think we've seen before too. Chomping Changeling. Look how cute you are. I love it. When this creature enters, destroy up to 1 target artifact or enchantment. Oh my gosh, you're so cute. I cannot. Creekwood Safe Right. This creature enters with 3 -1/-1 counters on it. At the beginning of your end step, if there is an elf card in your graveyard and this creature has a -1/-1 counter on it, remove a counter from this creature. Interesting. Illusion Spinners. You may cast this spell as though it has flash if you control a fairy. It has flying, and it has hexproof as long as it is untapped. Interesting. Hey, there's the thing that everybody talks about, the Bitterbloom Bear, and it's non-serialized, but that's okay. I'm very happy about this. Flash Flying. At the beginning of your upkeep, you lose 1 life and create a 1/1 blue-black fairy creature token with flying. There's a Feisty Spikeling. Plains, and a Goblin. Alright. So even if I don't get the serialized card in my collector pack, I got that one cool card. Changeling Wayfinder, we've seen this one before. Let me fix the camera if I can. Beautiful, thank you very much, I appreciate you. Graveguild Scoundrel is whenever this creature attacks, you may tap another untapped creature you control. If you do, this creature can't be blocked this turn. It also has Vigilance. Tributary Vaulter is another merfolk. When this creature becomes tapped, another target merfolk gets +2/+0 till end of turn, and it has flying. We've seen Tweeze. Moonglobe Extractor, I believe we saw this one. Whenever this creature attacks, you draw a card and lose 1 life. No May. Soul Farrier. Target creature control gets +1/+1, engage Vigilance until end of turn. Activate only as a sorcery. When you tap this card, Summit Sentinel. When this creature dies, draw a card. Crib Swap. It's a shapeshifter. Look how cute it is. Oh my gosh. Exile target creature, and its controller creates a 1/1 colorless shapeshifter creature token with Changeling. Oh my gosh, I love it. Spell Snare. Counter target spell with mana value 2. So CMC of 2. Simmer Creep. Menace. Vivid. When this creature enters, each opponent loses X life and you gain X life, where X is the number of colors among permanents you control. Boldware Aggressor. Double strike. Giants have double strike. We've seen that one. Blood Crypt is our Chalkland Swamp Mountain. Awesome. Assert Perfection. We've seen that one before. Another mountain and another token. All getting messy over here. Try to keep them not so, but you know what? It is what it is. What is magic if it's not messy, huh? Right? Right. Mischievous Sneakling, Shapeshifter. It's got Flash. That's the main thing about it. Temporal Cleansing. We've seen that one already. Spikeling, we've seen that one. We've seen the Rooftop Percher. Cinder Strike. Yes, I believe we did see that one. Bogart, Prankster, we've seen that. Crossroads Watcher, Trample. Whenever another creature you control enters, this creature gets +1/+0 until end of turn. This one's new. Prismatic Undercurrents, Vivid. When this enchantment enters, search your library for up to X basic land cards, where X is the number of colors among permanents you control. Reveal those cards and put them in your hand and shuffle. You may play additional land at each of your turns. Nameless Inversion. Changeling. Target creature gets +3/-3 and loses all creature types until end of turn. Nice. Hovel Hurler. Giant Warrior. This creature enters with 2 -1/-1 counters on it for either a combination of 2 red or white. Remove a counter from this creature. Another target creature control gets +1/+0 and gains flying until end of turn. Activate only as a sorcery. Champions of the Shoal. Merfolk Soldier. As an additional cast to cast a spell, or an additional cost to cast a spell, behold a merfolk and exile it. When this creature enters or becomes tapped up to 1 target creature and put a stun counter on it. When this creature leaves the battlefield, return exile card to its owner's hand. Ooh, pretty. Celestial Reunion. As an additional cost to cast a spell, you may choose a creature type and behold 2 creatures of that type. Search your library for a creature card with mana value X or less, reveal it, put it into your hand, then shuffle. If this spell's additional cost was paid and revealed, and the reveal card is the chosen type rather, put that card onto the battlefield instead of putting it into your hand. Interesting. And another Bitter Bloom Bearer, but this one is foil, guys. That's 2 of them right there. We have a forest. We have one of those basic sheets. 2 Bitter Bloom Bearers. Okay, let's go. Alright, Evolving Wilds. We've seen the Mystic. We've seen the Tributary Vaulter. We've seen the Pummeler. Cinder Strike, yes. Blighted Blackthorn. Runaway Together. The Moonlight Lamenter, I don't believe we did, but we're going to find out. Enters with a -1/-1 counter on it. Remove a counter from this creature. Draw a card. Activate only as a sorcery. Virulent Emissary. Death Touch. Whenever another creature you control enters, gain 1 life. Unbury. Choose one. Return target creature card from your graveyard to your hand, or return 2 target creature cards that share the creature type from your graveyard to your hand. Interesting. Soulblight Seeker. We've seen that one. Brigand's Command. It's a Kithkin sorcery. Choose 2. Create a token that's a copy of target Kithkin you control. Target player creates a 1/1 green-white Kithkin creature token. Target creature you control gets +3/+3 till end of turn, or target creature you control fights target creature an opponent controls. Interesting. There's another Emissary, a mountain, and tokens. So far, I'm kind of like, this is kind of cool. I'm like, let's go. Let's do this, you know? Liminal Hold. When this enchantment enters, exile up to 1 target non-land permanent an opponent controls until this enchantment leaves the battlefield. Gain 2 life. I believe we have seen this Sky Swimmer. Chitinous Grasping. It is a changeling with reach. Elder Auntie. When this creature enters, create a 1/1 black and red green creature. 1/1 black and red goblin creature token. My god, I cannot talk, y'all. I am so glad you're patient with me. As an additional cost to cast the spell, blight 1 or pay 3 to exile a target creature. It is Bog Slither's Embrace. We've seen this one here. Get Leaf Embrace. Flash enchant creature. When this aura enters, enchanted creature gains trample and indestructible until end of turn. They also gets +1/+0. Moon Vigil Adherence. Trample. When this creature gets +1/+0 for each creature you control and each creature card in your graveyard. Interesting. Giant Fall. Choose one. Target creature you control deals damage equal to its power to target creature an opponent controls, or destroy target artifact. Requiting Hex. As an additional cost to cast a spell, you may blight 1. Destroy target creature with mana value 2 or less. If the spell's additional cost was paid, you can gain 2 life. Rhymekin Recluse. Elemental Wizard. When this creature enters, return up to 1 target creature to its owner's hand. Okay. Ooh. Hexing Squelcher. Cannot be countered. Its word is to pay 2 life. Spells you control can't be countered. Other creatures you control have ward, pay 2 life. Look at that beautiful card. I love that art. Vile Bogart. I remember that one because it's a fun little tongue twister. That alternate art, I love it. It's so cute. I know it's like a storybook style, but that's why I love it so much. It's so whimsical. I love the whimsy. Keep out. The Dagger, Flaring Cinder, Sun Dappled Celebrant. Oh, I don't know if we did that one yet. It has Vigilance and Convoke. Yeah, I think we did actually. Burning Curiosity. As an additional cost to cast a spell, you may blight 1. Exile the top 2 cards of your library. If the spell's additional cost was paid, exile the 3 cards instead. Until the end of your next turn, you may play those cards. Blight Rot has the -4, 4 -1/-1 counters. That one. We're gonna start. I just put these down here. I didn't even organize them like I would want to, so that's my mistake. Bogart Curse Crafter. Death Touch. Whenever a goblin you control dies, this creature deals 1 damage to each opponent. Eclipsed Marrow. Merfolk Scout. When this creature enters, look at the top 4 cards of your library. You may reveal a Merfolk, Plains, or Island card from among them and put the rest in your hand. Put the rest on the bottom of your library in random order. Look at that, Eclipse Bogart. When this enters, look at the top 4 cards of your library. You may reveal a Goblin, Swamp, or Mountain card from among them and put them onto your hand. Put the rest of the bottom of your library in random order. Water Wine Profits. And look at that, it's actually a... right there. Come on, fix yourself. There you go. right there. That's what I wanted to point out. Champion a merfolk. Whenever this creature deals combat damage to a player, you may sacrifice a merfolk. If you do, take an extra turn after this one. Wow. Goliath Daydreamer. Okay, this is what I actually had in my pre-release set. So, whenever you cast an instant sorcery spell from your hand, exile that card with a dream counter on it instead of putting it into your graveyard as it resolves. Whenever this creature attacks, you may cast a spell from among cards you own in exile with dream counters on them without paying their mana cost. Kindle the Inner Flame. Full Art Swamp. And another token. We're seeing a lot of neat cards here. I'm actually really kind of thrilled with this. Gold Metal Nomad. Mare Skimmer. Wild Unraveling. I don't think we've seen this one yet. Additional cost to cast a spell. Blight 2 or pay 1 counter. Actually, we did. My mistake. Scarblade Scout. When this creature enters, mill 2 cards. It has lifelink. Safe Right Cavalry. Can't be blocked by more than 1 creature. Target elf you control gets +2/+2 until end of turn. It is a 4/4. Interesting. Burning Curiosity. Is additional cost to cast a spell. You may blight 1. Exile the top 2 cards of the library. If the spell's additional cost is paid, exile the top 3 instead. Until the end of your next turn, you may play those cards. Alright, and then we have our Foul Knight. Yeah, I mean, look how big it is compared to that chicken. It makes me really do believe that they are brownies. Darkness Descends. Put 2 1/1 counters on each creature. Interesting. Rhymekin Recluse. When this target creature enters, return up to 1 target creature to its owner's hand. Thoughtweft Imbuer. Whenever a creature you control attacks alone, it gets +X/+X until the end of turn, where X is the number of Kithkins you control. Lubalesque we've seen before. Oh, look at this one. Vivid. At the beginning of your first main phase, reveal cards from the top of your library until you reveal X non-land cards, where X is the number of colors among permanents you control. For each of those colors, you may exile a card of that color from among those revealed cards, then shuffle. You may cast the exile cards this turn. Interesting. Moonglove Extractor. I think we've seen that one before. Another Full Art Swamp. Guys, really, this is so pretty. This is so fun. I don't know about you guys, but I'm really enjoying this. Prideful Feastling, Stratosaur, Timid Shieldbearer. Creatures you control get +1/+1 until end of turn. Great Forest Druid. Brambleback Brute. See, this is also, gonna mention this in a second. Let me finish this first. Anti-Sentence, Waterwine Distractor. Dose of Dawnglow. Return target creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield. If this isn't your main phase, Blight 2. Waterwine Farewell. Thoughtweft Imbuer. Shimmer Wild's Growth. Enchant Land. As this chart or enters, choose a color. Enchanted Land is chosen color. Whenever Enchanted Land is tapped for mana, its controller adds an additional one of the chosen colors. Twilight Diviner. When this creature enters, Surveil 2. Whenever one or more creatures you control enter, if they entered or were cast from a graveyard, create a token that's a copy of one of them. This ability triggers only once each turn. Wild Unraveling, Forest, and then a token. Here's what I was going to say real quick. I know like a lot of times when I play Commander or other things, if somebody gets a -1 on their thing, and then they get a +1/+1, people just remove the dice, and they're like, oh, well, it cancels each other out. Yes, technically speaking, on one hand, they do cancel each other out. But now with the Blight mechanic, you can't just say that and then just remove the counters. You need to keep the -1/-1 counter on there, as well as a +1/+1 counter on there, because there are so many things now, thanks to Blight, that are going to rely on knowing what does and does not have those -1/-1 counters on them, regardless of whether or not it negates when it comes to combat. So that's actually kind of like, I'm actually glad about that when it comes to Blight, because I used to hate, I know I've been guilty of it too, because I kind of just went with the flow, but I hate when people do that because it's like, no, there might be importance behind the negatives. It really is. And this just emphasizes that a lot more. Chaos Spewer. Alright. Temporal Cleansing. Spiral to Solitude. Enchant creature can't attack or block. For a colorless and white. Blight 1, sacrifice the aura. Exile enchanted creature. Safe Right Cavalry. This creature can't be blocked by more than one creature. And gets +2/+2, or elf gets +2/+2. I think we saw that one already. Feed the Flames. Barbed Bloodletter. Unforgiving Aim. Meander's Guide. It's been a while since we've seen you, my friend. Swat Away. This spell casts 2 less to cast if a creature is attacking you. The owner of target spell or creature puts it on their choice of the top or bottom of the library. Interesting. Reaping Willow. Alright. Lifelink, 2 -1/-1 counters. I think we've seen that one before. Explosive Prodigy with Vivid. When this creature enters, it deals X damage to target creature and opponent controls, where X is the number of colors among permanents you control. Lava Leaper. All creatures have haste. Whenever a player taps a basic land for mana, that player adds 1 mana of any type that land produced. Impolite Entrance. We've seen that one before. A Full Art Mountain. And there we go. We're down to the last 9 for this, and then we'll, like I said, we'll probably do a second video for the collector. I'm not gonna make us do this where it's like 2+ hours long. That's gonna be ridiculous. So we'll do this though. It'll be both released on Tuesday, just in separate videos. Keep Out, Mischievous Sneakling, Unexpected Assistance, Vile Bogart, Miss Meadow Council, Enraged Flamecaster, Heirloom Auntie. This creature enters with 2 -1/-1 counters on it. Whenever another creature you control dies, Surveil 1, and then you can remove a 1/1 counter from this creature. Squawk Roaster. Double Strike. Vivid. Squawk Roaster's power is equal to the number of colors among permanents you control. Bogart Mischief for Goblins. When this enchantment enters, you may blight 1. If you do, create 2 1/1 red and black goblin creature tokens. Whenever a goblin creature you control dies, each opponent loses 1 life and you gain 1 life. Everstrike's Gift. I did say it right. Enchant creature. Enchanted creature gets +1/+0 and has flying. Blight 2. Return this card from your graveyard to your hand. Activate only as a sorcery. Lofty Dreams. This is an enchantment aura. Convoke enchant creature. Whenever this aura enters, draw a card. Enchanted creature gets +2/+2 and has flying. Look at that beautiful full art hallowed fountain. That is gorgeous. Gristle Glutton. I don't think I've seen this one yet. Blight 1, discard a card. If you do, draw a card. Full art planes. I'm loving that full art though of the Shockland. Oh my gosh, that hallowed fountain is gorgeous. Wow. I kept seeing it peeking through and I'm like, no, we're not gonna get too excited just yet. We're gonna wait and see what it is. Absolutely gorgeous. Absolutely. Oh, my trash bag just fell off. Oh well. Rooftop Percher. Aquatic Defenses, or Aquatex Defenses. We've seen that one, I believe. Waterbrine Preacher. Midnight Tilling. We've seen that one. The Zealot. We've seen. Bile Vile. We've seen a lot of him. Bone Club Berserker. I believe we've seen you. Burden Stoneback. I believe we saw you. Morkant's Eyes. At the beginning of your upkeep, Surveil 1. For 4 and 2 green, sacrifice this enchantment. Create X 2/2 black and green elf creature tokens, where X is the number of elf cards in your graveyard. Activate only as a sorcery. Another Nameless Inversion. A Impolite Entrance. Meek Attack. Enchantment. For a red and a colorless, you may put a creature card with total power and toughness of 5 or less from your hand to the battlefield. That creature gains haste. At the beginning of the next end step, sacrifice that creature. And then we have Boldwar's Aggressor, beautiful foil, a Swamp, and a info card, is what I like to call those because they're really not anything else. Appeal to Iridu, whatever. Stoic Grove Guide, Glaive Gill Scoundrel, Sun Dapple Celebrant, Bog Slither's Embrace, Soulry Farrier. I cannot pronounce that word. I don't know how hard it is, but it is hard for me. Gristle Glutton, Bogart's Prankster, Kindle the Inner Flame. Create a token that's a copy of target creature that you control, except it has haste, and at the beginning of the end step, sacrifice that token. You can flashback it if you behold 3 elements and 1 colorless and a red. Perfect Intimidation. Choose one or both. Target opponent exiles 2 cards from their hands. Remove all counters from target creature. I like that. That could be fun. Glamour Gifter. Let's see here. When this creature enters, choose up to 1 other target creature until the end of turn. Yep, I've seen that one. That was early on in this video. Mutable Explorer. He's so cute. He's a changeling. When this creature enters, create a tapped Mutavault token. It's a land with tap to add colorless, and for 1, this token becomes a 2/2 creature with all creature types until the end of turn. It is still a land. I love it. Your Kolrath Zealot. Planes, wrong spot, and token. We are getting down there, guys. Our battery is also running low, guys, so I'm gonna try to be quick about this and see what we can do. Let me see here. We have 10%. We're gonna try to be fast on this one. Kolrath Mystic, Spiral into Solitude, Evolving Wilds, Aquatex Research, Mist Meadow Council, Brambleback Brute, Blighton Blackthorn, Wary Farmer, Eclipsed Marrow, which is a Merfolk Plains Island Search type thing, Bark of Doran, which is a equipped creature, right, as long as the creature is equal to its power, it gains combat damage to its toughness with its power. Dawn Blessed Pennant, choose Elemental Elf Fairy Guide, Dawn Kithlin Merfolk Treefolk. When it's permanent in control of a chosen type enters, you gain 1 life. Tyrant's Command, Bone Club Berserker, Swamp, Kithkin. Alright, I went through that way too fast. I didn't like that. We're going to go ahead and stop here for right now. I'm going to let this charge. We're going to come back. We're going to finish this off. I do apologize. We'll be back in just a moment. Alright guys, we are back. Sorry about that. Had to recharge it, but we are now back to being charged, so let's get going so we can get this one, and then we are going to be doing the collector booster in the next video. Fortunately, that's the bad part about where I'm at right now. Until I can get the outlets fixed, I don't really have a good spot to keep the laptop plugged in. So it's a work in process, but we are exactly doing that. So let me turn off this light to make it balance out. There we are. We looked at Dawn Guard. We have had some of these before, so we're not going to worry too much about it. Guiltleaf Embrace. We did have that one before. Kithkeeper. Okay. Yes, we had that one. Boulder Dash. Boulder Dash deals 2 damage to any target and then 1 damage to any other target. Remember, the targets can be players. Slumbering Walker. This creature enters with 2 1/1 counters on -1/-1 counters on it, rather. At the beginning of your end step, you may remove a counter from this creature. When you do, return target creature card with power 2 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. It is another giant. So that's 2 beautiful giants I have in the alt one. Oh, this is pretty. It's a giant druid. Aurora Awakener. Trample with Vivid. When this creature enters, reveal cards from the top of your library until you reveal X permanent cards, where X is the number of colors among permanents you control. Put Put any number of those permanent cards into the battlefield. Then put the rest of the revealed cards on the bottom of your library in random order. That's really cool, and I love that art. And the guy looks like so shocked, like Gathering Stone. As this artifact enters, choose a creature type. Spells you cast for that chosen type cost 1 less to cast. When this artifact enters and at the beginning of your upkeep, look at the top card of your library. If it's a card of the chosen type, you may reveal it and put it into your hand. If you don't put the card into your hand, you may put it in your graveyard. That's actually really interesting. I like that. A mountain. And then another token. So we're seeing some interesting stuff here near the tail end. I'm kind of excited, guys. Alright. Spiral into Solitude. I believe we've already seen this beauty right here. Gangly Stomping. Silvergill Peddler. Whenever this creature becomes tapped, draw a card, then discard a card. I think we saw that before, but I'm not sure. Dawnhand Eulogist. Dawn's Light Archer. Reckless Ransacking. Wanderwine Distractor. Shimmer Wild's Growth. Soulbred Auntie, Iron Shield Elf, Silvergill Mentor. As additional cost to cast a spell, behold a merfolk or pay 2. When it enters, create a 1/1 white and blue merfolk creature token. Awesome. Ooh, look at this pretty beauty. Kindred Sorcery of Merfolk. Choose 2. Create a token that's a copy of target merfolk you control. Creatures target player controls gain lifelink until end of turn. Target player draws a card. Tap target creature, put a stun counter on it. I love the art. I always love that art. Steam Vents. It is our red and blue. It's in a beautiful foil. And then, alright, so 3 more to go for this, guys. And then on the next video, it will be time for the collector box. Gangly Stomping. Unexpected Assistance. Reluctant Dawnguard. Assert Perfection. Gristle Glutton. Scarblade's Malice. Riverguard Reflexes. Shine Striker. I still think that's so beautiful. I love that so much. Waterbrine Trapper. 1 and tap is to tap another untapped creature you control. Tap target creature an opponent controls. Blossoming Defense. Target creature you control gains +2/+2 and gains hexproof until end of turn. Goat Nap. Gain control of target creature until end of turn. Untap that creature. It gains haste until end of turn. If that creature is a ghost, it also gets +3/+0 till end of turn. Remember that shapeshifters or shapeshifters or people, anything that has the changeling thing does qualify for this. Oko, Lorwyn Liege. It is a planeswalker. At the beginning of your first main phase, you may pay Forest. If you do, transform for uptick 2. Up to 1 target creature gains all creature types. Uptick 1, target creature gets -2, -0 until your next turn. If we flip it, he becomes Shadowmoor Scion. At the beginning of your first main phase, you may pay Island to transform him. -1 is to mill 3 cards. You may put a permanent card from among them into your hand. -3 is to create 3/3 green elk creature tokens. -6, choose a creature type. You get emblem with creatures you control of the chosen type, get +3/+3, and have vigilance and hexproof. That is interesting. Liminal Hold. When this enchantment enters, exile up to 1 target non-land permanent opponent controls. Until this enchantment leaves the battlefield, gain 2 life. Full Art Forest. And an elf. Alright, I like that. That's actually a pretty interesting planeswalker. I'm kind of curious about that one, if there'd be anything I could see doing with that. I'm not sure yet. Shore Lurker. Flying, and when this creature enters, surveil 1. Prideful Feastling. Chitinous Graspling. Auntie's Sentence. Crossroads Watcher. Whenever another creature you control enters, this creature gets +1/+0 until end of turn, and it has trample. Elder Auntie. Riverguard Reflexes. Pitless Fist. Enchant creature control. They enchanted creature fights up to a 1 target creature an opponent controls, and it gets +2/+2. I think we saw it before, but I'm not sure. Noggle the Mind. Enchanted creature has the flash ability. They lose all abilities and is a colorless Noggle with base power and toughness of 1/1. Gnarlbark Elm. This creature enters with 2 -1/-1 counters on it. Remove 2 counters from this creature. Target creature gets -2/-2 until end of turn. Activate only as a sorcery. Noggle Robber. This creature enters or dies. You create a treasure token. Tam. Mindful First Year is a Gorgon wizard. Each other creature you control has hexproof from each of its colors. Target creature control becomes all colors until end of turn. Interesting. That might be a fun one to build something off of, you guys. Scuzzback Scrounger. At the beginning of your first main phase, you may blight 1. If you do, create a treasure token. An island. And then we are at the last pack for the play boosters. Let's see what we find. Timid Shield Bearer, Chaos Spewer, Wild Unraveling, Flame King Guild Weaver, Scarblade Scouts, Soul Reef Farrier, Heirloom Arronte, Thoughtweft Charge, Goatnap, Glister Baron. Vivid. At the beginning of combat on your turn, another target creature you control gets +X/+X till end of turn, where X is the number of colors among permanents you control. Disrupt the Currents, Flash, and Convoke. When this creature enters, return up to 1 target non-land permanent to its owner's hands. Sig, Wonderwine Wisdom. He cannot be blocked. When this creature enters or transforms into Sig Wonderwine Wisdom, target creature gains. Whenever this creature deals combat damage to a player or planeswalker, draw a card until the end of turn. During your first main phase, you may pay a planes, and you can transform him into Wonderbrine Shield. Cannot be blocked. When he is transformed into this, target creature control gains protection from each color until your next turn. Beginning of your first main phase, you may pay an island. If you do, transform him. Awesome. Wonderwine Distractor, Mountain, and Elf. Honestly, I think we got a lot of good stuff, guys. We will see how it goes from here. But we'll see what happens in the next video with the collector box. Until then, don't forget to pay the 1. Take care.